What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to KO with Kyle. I'm your host, Kyle. Today we're going to be recapping this last Saturday's UFC fight night. Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington. There was a 14-fight card, and 6 of the 8 prelims went to finishes. It was pretty exciting overall, and without further ado, let's get into the main card. Starting off the main card was Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart. It was pretty evenly matched. Round 1, they both did some damage. Darren Stewart was coming forward a lot. Kevin Holland wasn't able to keep his reach advantage. It's definitely back and forth. Round 2 was a little bit stronger for Holland. He had some more output. And then in round 3, Darren Stewart got about 3 takedowns just over and over with some chain wrestling and definitely won that round. The judges scored it in a split decision for Kevin Holland, and I think he was a little bit surprised in the victory, but it was one of Kyle's fight picks, so we were 1 for 1 at that point. Next we had Mackenzie Dern versus Randa Markos at straw weight. There was a slip off of a kick that Mackenzie Dern threw, and she landed on her back, and then she was on her back for the rest of the fight, just trying to secure a submission. She was originally going for an arm triangle, and then kind of transitioned that into an arm bar attempt and had to really work at it for a while to get the right angle on it, and eventually got the submission victory. So we had Mackenzie Dern in our Kyle's fight picks as well, so we were 2 for 2 so far in the card. Next on the card was Johnny Walker versus Ryan Spann at light heavyweight. These guys came out strong right away. Ryan Spann got wrestling into a takedown, and he at one point rocked Johnny Walker with a right and knocked him down and got into a mount and was doing some ground and pound. And then at one point, Ryan Spann was wrestling up against the cage and trying to get a takedown against Walker, and Walker just started elbowing him to the side of the head, and it was just really vicious elbows over and over to the side of the head, and it about knocked him out. And the referee eventually just stopped the fight as a TKO because of the damage done from the elbows. So Johnny Walker got the victory in that one. It was a huge win for him, and we're sure to see a big fight for him next. Back in the win column, which we're happy to see. Following that win for Johnny Walker, we had a much hyped middleweight bout between Khamzat Chimaev and Gerald Meerschaert. It was only seconds into the fight when Khamzat landed a heavy right hand, one straight right punch, and that knocked out Meerschaert, and it was a one-punch KO. So this guy's been in 3 fights now, 3 wins, quickest 3 wins in UFC history, and he did it without taking a single punch this time, and he's perfectly healthy to go back in the ring as soon as possible. They mentioned Damian Maia. Who knows who we'll see next for him, but he is a much deserved hype train. I think everybody's aboard, and we can't wait to see where his career goes next. Chimaev made Kyle's fight picks 4 for 4 at that point. And moving on, we had the co-main event between Cowboy Cerrone and Niko Price at welterweight. Niko Price came out strong, throwing combinations, hard shots, looking to finish Cowboy early. Cowboy survived, and he started throwing a little offense himself, getting a lot of jabs in, did some damage to Niko's face. There were several bad eye pokes throughout. Niko Price was warned about it, and then the second one, he got a point deduction, and they just traded blows throughout all the way to the end of the rounds 3, and one judge had it 29-27 Cerrone, and 2 other judges had it 28-28 for the majority draw. I think both fighters were a little bit disappointed in it, and I was upset too because I had picked Cerrone, and it was very close to getting the win there. So that made Kyle's fight picks 4 for 5 on the night. In the main event, we had the long-awaited bout between Tyron Woodley and Colby Covington at welterweight. Colby dominated Tyron from the start. He just put in a lot of wrestling. He had several successful takedown attempts, getting a lot of ground and pound. Tyron at one point like jumped off the cage like an Anthony Pettis leaping punch, and that landed, but he didn't get off a whole lot of offense throughout the rounds. And round 4, the strikes for Colby Covington were 113 to Tyron Woodley's 2. So he just got totally dominated that round. He was on his back for most of the round, just getting smashed. And in round 5, Colby got another takedown, and while Tyron was down, he stretched in a weird way or hurt his ribs in some way, but he started to scream out about his ribs, and the referee stopped the fight, and it was a TKO win for Colby Covington. So congratulations to Colby, who got it done strong, and I'm sure he'll be on to a title run after this. Maybe he'll get a big fight with Masvidal. I'd love to see him get against Leon Edwards after this, but he wants another shot at Kamaru Usman. So we'll see, but it's going to be another big fight for Colby after a big, impressive win over Tyron Woodley. Quickly going over the prelims, we had some fairly exciting prelims. First, we had Tyson Nam versus Jerome Rivera at bantamweight. Nam was walking Rivera up against the cage. In round 2, he landed a heavy right that knocked down Rivera. He smothered and landed some blows to get the TKO win. Next, we had Irwin Rivera versus Andre Ewell at bantamweight. This was pretty close, all 3 rounds, back and forth, both having their moments. Judges had it in a split decision for Andre Ewell. Next at bantamweight, we have Newson versus Randy Costa. Costa landed a left hand to a head kick KO early in the fight. And next was Darrick Minner versus TJ Laramie at featherweight. Early on, Minner locked in a deep guillotine choke for the first round submission. Next was Jessica Rose Clark versus Sarah Alpar at bantamweight. It was close early, but Jessica Rose Clark got ahead, inflicting some serious damage. Rose Clark stopped the fight with a knee. The referee thought it was illegal, but when he saw that it was a legal knee, he restarted the fight. Rose Clark continued pummeling until she got the TKO win. Next was Mayra Bueno Silva versus Mara Romero Borello at flyweight. Borello was on top after a takedown, but Bueno Silva worked towards a submission and eventually got an armbar submission win. Next at featherweight, we had Damon Jackson versus Meerschaert Bektik. Bektik landed multiple takedowns early. Jackson would work towards submissions, either a guillotine attempt or a Kimura. Jackson was eventually able to secure the guillotine choke for the submission win. And finally, we had Jordan Espinoza versus David Dvorak at flyweight. Dvorak was coming forward while covering up well with lots of calf kicks. All 3 judges scored it 30-27 for the unanimous decision win for David Dvorak. This upcoming Saturday, September 26th, we have UFC 253, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Also on the card is the light heavyweight bout between Dominic Reyes and John Blachowicz. I have a fight spotlight video for each of these fights, and I will have a fight forecast video for the full card, the full main card, later this week. So please subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, fight fans.